Hi, everybody. I'm Butch Stearns of the Pulse Network at thepulsenetwork.com for Football Nation. Here to talk some cold, hard football facts. And to do that, I'm here with Kerry Byrne of coldhardfootballfacts.com. Kerry, I am a member of the congregation, a card-carrying member.
We've been able to convert you, Butch.
I follow the numbers. So preach to me about cold, hard football facts.
Well, you know, we're all about one thing and one thing only, finding the stats that win and lose football games. And we track the correlation to victory of numerous different stats and introducing some new ones this offseason as well.
So you've always been about that. And when you look at the numbers, you have the data to back it up. So let's look closer at the numbers. And these are numbers based over a 5-year period and beyond. I mean, your numbers go back. And they relate, as you said, they relate directly to victory. So as we look at these numbers and we look at real quarterback rating, scoreability, passer rating, interceptions, on down this list, which, by the way, is ranked by which ones directly correlate to victory. This proves what you're saying, that these numbers correlate to victory.
Yeah, and this is something new we're introducing for the first time here, Butch. You know, year after year we track that correlation to victory of each stat. But these are 5-year numbers now. We haven't gone back even further, but for a tidy round number. 5 years worth of winning percentages of different indicators, proving to you what stats win and lose football games, not just year after year, but not just in 1 year, but year after year. And what we find is a lot of consistency that the same stats that win in 1 year win the following year, and it tells us how football games are won and lost.
All right, so let's touch a couple of these numbers specifically. Yep. Real quarterback rating. There is an 86%, almost, nearly 86% chance of winning when you win the real quarterback rating. What's the difference between real quarterback rating and just the traditional quarterback rating?
Well, you know, the big theme we found is that winning in the NFL is all about the quarterback. It really is all about that one position. Now, there are a lot of factors that go into influencing how well a quarterback plays, but great quarterbacks win games. We know that instinctively, and our numbers prove that. Real quarterback rating is something we introduced last year. And what it does, passer rating measures only passing, Butch. And people kind of dismiss passer rating as an old antiquated stat. No. It's highly relevant to winning and losing football games. But what we did with real quarterback rating is added in rushing numbers, sacks, fumbles, all the things that passer rating doesn't look at, and added that into a single rating to measure all aspects of quarterback play. And if you look at this, if your quarterback plays better, you win 86% of all NFL games. That's a remarkable correlation to victory, that simply by a quarterback playing more efficiently, not passing for more yards, but playing more efficiently, you win almost 90% of all NFL
And again,
games.
let's look at that number. Nearly 86% of the time, 440 out of 512 games over this period.
And by the way, that's only 2 years worth of data because it's a new indicator. The other stats go back 5 years, but we'll be building that historic data for real QB rating.
And what I love about real quarterback rating is you add in the things beyond completion percentage, beyond touchdowns that a quarterback can control, because he's responsible for a fumble in the offense. He's responsible for a sack in the offense. He may not be his fault, but he's responsible for that.
Let me cite a great example. When the Broncos in the last season were going on that great run under Tim Tebow, people said, oh, he's only passing for 90 yards a game. Well, you know what? Week after week, Butch, he had the higher real quarterback rating, sometimes dominating the opposing quarterback. When you looked at his total performance, rushing, and he generally didn't turn the ball over much, he had a very high real quarterback rating. And what we found is that wasn't a vacuum of just some unique Tebow situation. Year after year, season after season, that quarterback was more efficient in all aspects, wins the game, and he was just kind of an unusual example of it.
All right, cold hard football facts numbers prove that they correlate to victory. What else do they prove?
Well, you know, I think one thing's interesting is people still obsess about the running game in the NFL, but if you go down all our stats, there's 5 or 6 passing indicators that are all more important than the most important rush indicator, which is rush yards. Total rush yards. It does have a pretty good correlation to victory, but it comes after 4 or 5 different passing indicators, 4 or 5 different quarterback indicators. And by the way, what I found really interesting is that the stat that least correlates among ours to victory is rushing yards per attempt, how effective you run the ball. People always say, oh, you got a great running back, you're going to win a lot of games, but that's not true. You have the better running back. You're not necessarily the better team, and history proves that, and our numbers prove that.
So it proves that the passing game is more important than ever, and the running game is becoming less important.
Well, no, not even more than ever. It's always been that way. That's really the surprising thing when you look at our numbers historically, Butch. The NFL has always been won by the team with the superior passing attack, the more efficient passing attack, going all the way back to the 1940s.
All right, Kerry, let's finish up this segment with one particular thing, and that is that these numbers are there. They're accurate. They prove that it correlates to victory, and people are taking notice. You're being asked by a lot of people to share these numbers.
We talk about it on radio and TV all the time, going to NFL Films this offseason to talk about it and kind of make a presentation on some of our numbers there. And I think what's interesting is passer rating in particular, we didn't invent it, but it's been around for a long time. People dismiss passer rating, but it's really an incredibly telling indicator that I honestly think more people should look at. You know, some even coaches dismiss passer rating, and we prove throughout history, and we'll be presenting more of this in the offseason, really how important that is. And even the guys who invented it in the 70s probably didn't realize what a great indicator they had created.
These numbers are the facts, cold, hard football facts. They work, they're proven no matter what your interest in football is. I'm Butch Stearns. He's Kerry Byrne of ColdHardFootballFacts.com. This is Football Nation.